team worthy of a Scudetto challenge themselves in the not-too-distant future. His 4-4-2 formation employs Gantz and Branca as the front two, Ince and Berti in the centre of midfield, and with the ebullient and so elusive Carbone as his trump card for providing something out of the ordinary. Pistone's very impressive form at fullback continues to keep Bergomi on the bench, and of course on the other flank Inter will be hoping that Roberto Carlos can supply his usual quota of penetrating runs. Parma have a much stronger squad this season, more options for Nevio Scala to weigh up. He's lost Melli through injury today, but Stoichkov is available again to replace him. Scala has plumped for a midfield trio of Dino, Baggio, Pin and Brambilla, with support on the flanks from two fullbacks pushing on, Mussi and Di Chiara. Benarivo is suspended and Minotti is making his way back from injury. He's among the substitutes today. Today's referee is familiar face, I'm sure to you all, Pierluigi Collina. Parma then to kick off in the lighter strip, attacking the goal to our right. Back with the 5-3-2 formation that has been so successful for them in the past. Nevio Scala tinkering with the formation for the start of this campaign, but he soon switched back again. And Parma are very much in the hunt for their first ever Scudetto. Mussi with the pass. Here's Roberto Carlos. Who first came to prominence, of course, as far as English viewers are concerned, in the main anyway, during the Umbro Cup back in the middle of last summer when he performed so well for the Brazilian team. This is Cannavaro. He had a lengthy link with Parma in the past as well, Roberto Carlos. His old club Palmeiras, also sponsored by Parmalat. Roberto Carlos setting off on one of those surging runs, but it's broken up by Pin. Now Ince. Really is beginning to settle now in the Italian game, Paul Ince. Roberto Carlos, a great touch on for Gantz, and Ince! Luca Bucci performed heroics then for Parma, but there were two golden opportunities for Inter, and certainly for Paul Ince to have scored his first goal in Serie A.
Yes, very much so. A wonderful move, some super interplay, and Ince making a good one into the box. That'll give him a lot of confidence, and very unfortunate not to score his first goal in Serie A.
It's a super approach play then by Inter. In goes Roberto Carlos with Sensini. Luca Bucci, who managed to keep out both efforts then. First from Gantz. There's a great little touch here coming up from Roberto Carlos to release Gantz. And Bucci out very quickly to close him down, and then Ince denied as well. Apolloni had played them onside. Mussi with the throw for Parma. Roberto Carlos. Very strong start here by the home team. Given away then by Zola. Cannavaro sliding into the tackle, but illegally. Yes, it was a bit late then, a bit high from Cannavaro, who was in the Italian squad for the first time in midweek. That's Paganin with the free kick. Almost fell then for Gantz from Branca, and Bucci's there again. Terrific save from Luca Bucci.
That was a wonderful strike, wasn't it? But the keeper really, I mean, the defence there at Parma really all at sea. But it was a super strike, and Bucci really had to be on his toes.
Well, Luca Bucci out of the reckoning for the moment then with Arrigo Sacchi. He was sent off in one of the matches recently. There's Ince going in, and Gantz as well. And somehow Parma survived. My word, this is some pressure being inflicted by Inter, and it was Ince with the header, and maybe I would think handball then from the England man.
Yes, it was, but that was a super header, wasn't it? Wonderfully fighted corner, and he really attacks it well, Ince. Not really one of his strengths, his heading, but he shows on that occasion that he's going into the box very positively and attacking that ball in a very positive vein.
Sensini with that long pass. Oh, Stoichkov is away here. It's a great chance for Parma. Stoichkov! And he scored. Aliuka saving the first one, but Stoichkov, who went racing through them, has snapped up the second opportunity. Well, a terrific start to this game. Inter coming so close at the other end, but now Parma sneaking a goal on the break through Risto Stoichkov.
And that's why they're such a quality side. I think it was an error by one of the defenders. I don't think he quite had a proper touch with it. And Stoichkov, although he's had a bit of a sluggish start, Peter, you know, he's really come on now, and he's a type of world-class player on his day that if he gets half a chance, he certainly buries it in a clinical fashion, as just demonstrated there, and against the run of play, of course.
It's his first goal in 13 games, his first since the beginning of October, after he'd begun the season with a flurry of goals. It's gone in off the post. Here's Paulins. An ambitious pass, but he's found Marco Branca. Oh, Branca cleverly on for Roberto Carlos. Well, the flag was up for offside, but such imagination shown then by Branca. He was looking around for some movement, looking around for some support. Eventually found it through Roberto Carlos, but he was denied by the flag.
Yeah, wonderful individual skills now. I mean, he was looking for something to link up there, and Roberto Carlos, so notorious for his darting runs, links up, but unfortunately offside.
This is Di Chiara. Wasn't really going anywhere, though. Now he's got a scuttle back. Carbone away from him. And Branca onside. Still Branca. Bushy save. What a miss by Marco Branca. He had Gantz alongside as well. Got caught in two minds. Well, he was onside.
Yes, it was a gilt-edged opportunity. Bucci, to be fair, does very well. He holds up and actually commits him, but Gans was in a perfect position. In all fairness, he should have really squared it.
Getting Cancel there by Ince. Oh, Bucci's lost it. Paganin. And behind for the goal kick and respite for Parma. Luca Bucci not too happy about the cover in front of him. One or two players have gone missing. He's just got his hand to it there. Apolloni then to whack it clear. Here's Berti now. Started off his career with Parma. He was confronted then by Ince. So quick then to close down the space around him. Paganin with the clearance. Now here's Maurizio Gantz taking on Cannavaro, and slipped in for Roberto Carlos. And they have certainly had some chances in this opening phase.
Oh dear. Really, a man of his quality, certainly in that position, Roberto Carlos. I mean, Branca does wonderfully well here. Excuse me, Gans, and he squares it in wonderfully. And really, another super opportunity, which really Carlos, by his own standing, should have really buried.
Ince has been penalised. He feels the referees are too harsh. And he also feels the Italian players overreact, which I suppose is a natural reaction from Paul.
Yeah, well, no doubt we know Paul's competitive instincts there. I mean, it's a 50-50 ball there. I mean, his foot's slightly off the ground, a little bit high, and you know the referees in Italy, Peter, as soon as you raise your studs, they award a free kick. So really, his decision is consistent with the whole Italian game.
That's the abrasive side of Paul Ince's game. Here's Musi now threatening. And he's pulled it back, almost into the path of Dino Baggio. Off goes Roberto Carlos. Carbone. That's Peen. Peen again. Here's Ince. Now Zanetti. Pistone. Branco's flick. Easily read though by Gabriel Peen. Now Zola. Always looking for that inventive pass. Who goes Dino Baggio? Paluca stranded. Stoichkov! An incredible let off then for Inter. Stoichkov cursing himself for squandering the chance. This is Dino Baggio going through. Paluca, it's just come off him into the path of Stoichkov.
Yes, it's another ball as well, Peter, where the two central defenders, both Pesta and Pagnan, have been caught square. One ball has beaten them.
Meantime, here's the crossing from Pistone, well claimed by Luca Bucci. Berti arriving, Gats as well, and he didn't quite pull it back far enough then, Pistone. This is Peen.
That was a good ball, but a little bit too near the keeper. Bucci dealt with that comfortably.
Good tackle then by Ince, perfectly tight, nothing wrong with that. Look at his tenacity there. But Zola trying to evade the tackle from Festa. Down he goes, that'll be a free kick.
Super skill that was. I mean, Zola, he's a player that, for me, his technique is superb. Great dribbling ability. And on that occasion there, I actually thought he lost it, and he just manoeuvres the ball wonderfully past Festa, and he brings him down.
Bit clumsy in the end then, Festa, in his attempts to curb the sorcery of Zola. Good climb by Sensini and Dino Baggio. Paluca with the save. And there again we saw the menace, the threat of Dino Baggio.
He's a good player, Peter, because he's that kind of player. Technically, you don't see too much what he does, but he's got this uncanny ability to get on the end of things, and he makes some super runs into the box as well.
But here's Cannavaro for Parma. Now Stoichkov. Manoeuvre by Berti. Gats ahead of him. Still Berti. Branca's up as well. This is Branca now. Still Branca! It's another chance that has gone begging for Inter and for Marco Branca in particular. Held up intelligently then by Berti, laid invitingly into his path, and he couldn't tuck it away.
Yes, it was a woeful error by Stoichkov, but Branca does well here. And really, Bucci again sticks his foot out to defy him a goal. But you really wonder, is it going to come for Inter?
Nevio Scala getting a ticking off from referee Collina, who will stand for no nonsense. He's retreated to his seat on the bench. Not for long, I'll wager. Here's Carbone. Good anticipation by Musi, who seems to be okay. Zola. Stoichkov. He's going all alone. Terrific run here by Stoichkov. Brought down by Festa. And the referee says no foul.
Unlucky, very harsh I thought that was. Shows great pace, Stoichkov, great change of pace. And for me that was certainly a clear run on goal. He toes it there.
Well, the referee has seen fit to allow play to go on. No foul, and it's half-time. But it's certainly been a very exciting first 45 minutes. Hopefully you've enjoyed it at home as much as we have here. This was the run by Stoichkov, and surely he's impeded there by Festa.
I think so, Peter. And it was a clear run and goal as well.
Well, I find that a very strange decision. But nonetheless, we've had a lot of good football played in this first half. Hopefully more to come to in the second. Stoichkov with a goal that separates the two teams at half-time. Foul by Pistone on Di Chiara, whose sorties down the flank have also been a feature of the first half. Roberto Carlos coming across to take charge along with Carbone. It's getting that flick on, but harmlessly through in the end to Luca Bucci. Now Zola. Paganini struggling to get back, still Zola, couldn't quite thread it through. Here's Carbone now on the break, away from Sensini. He's got Berti away to his left, Branca to his right, and Gantz as well. And he's tried to slide it into the corner. It was a strange selection in the end by Carbone with all those options around him.
Yes, it was a super run. He picked it up nicely, manoeuvred the ball nicely past a Parma player, and he had 2 or 3 options, and one would expect, you know, a man of his probably vision to have selected a better final pass.
Pin. Now Di Chiara. Swapping flanks for a moment. Musi. And his cross has found Zola. And off Pistone for the corner. He had the confidence then to hit it on the volley, Zola. He has such marvellous technique. Didn't give it a second thought.
Nah, super technique in the last third. But again, Parma, they've soaked up the pressure from Inter, but they break so quickly from defence to front, barely 4 passes. And that's where Inter are going to have to keep full concentration at their rear guard.
Stoichkov with the corner. Di Chiara. Now Pin. Musi. And too long for Stoichkov. Certainly Inter, although they haven't managed to score so far, are looking a more balanced team under Roy Hodgson. A lot of problems early season under Bianchi, and Suarez took over very briefly before the arrival of Roy Hodgson. Roberto Carlos. Oh, Stoichkov is in! Great stop by Pagliuca. To spare the blushes there, Roberto Carlos. What on earth was he thinking of?
That was a wonderful save. A moment demanded by Roberto Carlos, but what the way Pagliuca's reacted, that was a super save. Because really it would have been an uphill struggle thereafter had he actually scored Stoichkov.
Really was a fantastic stop. Stoichkov suddenly released, yes. And he's tried to stab it in, maybe a little bit too coolly, a bit too casually.
He could have actually brought that down actually, because there's nobody in close proximity, probably 4 or 5 yards.
Well, the Inter fans don't like it. On by Pin. This is Zola. Musi has made tracks into the middle. Roberto Carlos just had a bit too much strength and pace, really, for Zola. Carbone. Halfway through the second period, Gantz. He was looking for the tackle, and it duly arrived from Cannavaro, who has been cautioned.
Yes, he's dived in there. I mean, really, he should have just let him have it to feet and just shepherded him away from the goal. But he dived in, tried to win it, and has given a free kick away.
Carbone is going to take it. Confirmation there, the yellow card for Parma's young defender Cannavaro. Zola. Paganini in quickly though. Now Pistone. It'll fall for Gantz. It wasn't a bad strike.
Good technique, very good technique indeed.
Let's see from the replay how close it was. Well, Bucci will say he had it covered, I'm sure. Here's Di Chiara. Now Zola. It's barging into him, slipped on by Zola for Baggio. Again, it should have been The opening created by the vision of Zola, but the finishing not good enough from Dino Baggio.
Yes, and you see the way there. I mean, just before that, you saw Zola's first touch. It was absolutely superb, with Paul Ince advancing towards him, and a lovely weighted pass, and unfortunately the finish not as consistent.
He does get in his goal-scoring positions, though, Dino Baggio. That's Carbone, now Delano. Just can't seem to get a run in the side, Delano, the former Udinese player. Peen is now back on for Parma. Carbone. Zanetti. This is Pastone. Branco lurking in the middle. In came Berti and Zanetti. And that was a woeful finish from the Argentine, who's managed just a one goal since his arrival in Serie A this season from South America.
You really feel Peter running a little bit out of ideas, aren't they? Because when they get on the ball anywhere within 25 yards, Parma have got so many men behind the ball, and it's very, very difficult for Inter to try and break down.
Musi. Now Zola. Swapping passes so neatly with Musi, but Paganini was there to break it all up. Now Berti. This is Delano. He's found Carbone. Delano again. Pastone. It's taking over. Delano. Look how many players Parma have back now. Carbone trying to prize an opening. Carbone with a shot. And it's Gantz! Bucci couldn't hold it. And Maurizio Gantz has steered it wide.
It's a super effort from Carbone. You see the way the ball's moving. And really, Bucci could do no more than that. And Gantz really, absolute gilt-edged opportunity. You never get a better one.
Well, he's been looking so sharp in recent weeks too, Maurizio Gantz, and he just couldn't believe that he failed to capitalise on that opportunity. The shot from Carbone, which Bucci mishandled, it squirmed away from him, so invitingly too, for Maurizio Gantz. And somehow, he managed to put it wide. What an escape then for Parma. Rather sums up their day. Roberto Carlos. You begin to wonder now if they're ever going to score. Paul Ince, who certainly doesn't deserve to be on the losing side if it does turn out that way. Delano crowded out unfairly. He's taken the kick very quickly. Now Stoichkov. Zola. Surely balked then by Paganini. Well, there's a shot again from Carbone. Bucci will be very disappointed he didn't hold it. But what a miss by Maurizio Gantz. Bit like Steve Bruce's for Manchester United the weekend.
Wasn't as bad as that one, surely.
Delano. Zanetti. Ince. Oh, Gantz going down, but I think it was a stumble. Certainly connected with somebody's leg. Here's Stoichkov now, marauding through at the other end, and Zola can surely score here. Oh, Paganini got back. Oh, that was amazing then. Zola seemed odds on to score, seemed to have done the hard part, but Paganini was back on his goal line to clear. Branco. Inter are fighting for their lives now.
That's unbelievable. I mean, Zola does everything here, deceives the goalkeeper, he's grounded there, lifts it over him wonderfully, and Paganini does superb.
And suddenly Parma have broken again, and it was another let-off. There's a shot from Stoichkov, whistled wide. Played in by Zola. And on another day, Stoichkov could have had 3 or 4.
Certainly if it was on his left side as well, Peter. Him shooting there with his wrong foot.
This is Delano now. Branca, outmaneuvered though by Cannavaro. The pattern stays the same. Inter taking the game to Parma. Delano. That'll be Bucci's. But as we were saying at the start of the game, Paul, this is the kind of game they have to survive. They have to come through Parma if they are to seriously challenge for the Scudetto.
And it's that kind of game where they may possibly grind out a result, but that's very, very important. Usually this stage of the season, they ease off the gas a little bit, Parma, and usually use their momentum. But they showed all the right characteristics, particularly today. And time will tell if they get the result.
Well, the points are certainly not secure yet. Paganini, who made that last-ditch clearance a few minutes ago from Zola to keep his team's hopes of getting something from this game alive. Foul by Stoichkov on Pistone. Stoichkov is going to be replaced now by Crippa. Javier Scala with some comforting words there for Stoichkov, who we hadn't expected to play today, but when Melli was ruled out through injury, he was the obvious replacement. Pistone with a free kick. Keane swung but missed. Here's Delano. Carbone. Great work by him. And there's a header from Branca! And this time he has finally scored. Marco Branca. The goal on 83 minutes. And what relief for Branca and the Inter fans around the stadium. And his expression there says it all. Other chances that have come his way have been squandered, but not this time. His header has arrowed into the corner from Carbone's pullback.
Yes, it was a super header, but one's got to appreciate the trickery and the quicksilver feet of Carbone. Manoeuvres the ball wonderfully, superb cross, and Branca really a wonderful header down, leaving the unfortunate Bucci really helpless. Well deserved indeed.
Well, that really is an immaculate finish by Marco Branca, who once again has struck against a former club. But meantime, Zola now looking to stretch Inter at the other end. Still Zola.
That's brilliant, Peter. I mean, he's got the ball in his own there. He's got 5 men around him, 5 defenders, 5 Inter players, and somehow, even in such a tight space, manages to get a shot in at goal. Absolutely superb.
Delano. Pina's won it back again though for Parma. How do you think they're going to look back on this game, Paul Elliott? Parma?
Well, I mean, if you look at it really, despite that, I mean, they're an away side and they've had so many good chances. I've been so impressed with Parma, the way they've broke from defence. Peter, they break at great speed, break with pace with the two fullbacks and Zola. But you know, they're still there where it matters, as I said before.
That's Carbone. Off goes Gantz. Bucci committed. Cross back in by Gantz, and Baggio away. Bit of panic at the back end from Parma. Yes. They've just about survived. On by Ince. Carbone laying it back. Roberto Carlos keeping his balance. Dispossessed by Musi. Now Ince. Berti in the middle, and Branca. And here's Gantz. And I wonder, is that the last opportunity of this game?
Yeah, as I was saying about Parma, the 3 central defenders have had problems today. That's probably been the negative part of their play, but there's been a lot of positive for an away side. They've had territorially a lot of chances, which they possibly should have done better with. But, you know, credit must go to Inter as well. They've worked extremely hard collectively and individually. They've done very, very well.
And there is the final whistle, so Inter's unbeaten home record in Serie A remains intact. Pagliuca with some smart saves as Parma look to extend their lead. But in the end it finishes 1-1.